one tight fit.
Yeah, I went straight off there. I went straight off there when I came out first time. So these next 3 corners are fast left, slightly less fast left, slightly less fast left again. Then you got full throttle chicane into pretty fast right. And then it's 90 right, 90 left, and then another 90 right. And just the final corner, same again.
Okay, that was the one that you shouldn't go in as fast on, so that doesn't happen, right? That was
Yeah, exactly. It's so it gets so tight, and it doesn't look that tight when you arrive. Yep. And obviously you're arriving super fast, so yeah, I went off many times before it kind of clicked exactly what I needed to do.
I like this track.
Yeah, I like it too. I think it suits the car. It's the right kind of size. So on this first corner, try and get closer to the left curb. So there's little yellow lumps. Try and get pretty close to them.
Not super close, but I can get closer next time.
Yeah. So I'm just going to watch it back as you recover on the grass. I'm just going to see just how close we did end up going.
So I think I braked a little too late, a little too hard.
Yeah, so you were about a car width away from them. In fact, you weren't even on the red and white stripe curb that time. So I think we're going to just turn in much earlier next time for turn 1.
Okay.
So try almost like really straighten it out rather than treating it as a tight corner. Treat it as a very gentle corner so you can go in really early. And then when you brake hard, you'll have the wheels pretty straight. I tend to go in, brake hard, down 2 gears, and then the full focus is on staying tight to the inside. Right, well, I'm live with you again. I think you should be able to stay in the same gear through that corner. I don't think you'll need that downshift once you're up to speed. This next right you do need a downshift for though. And I'd stay in this gear for the next corner. Yeah, that's all good. I think you've got the right gears now. So yeah, for turn 1 here, go in a bit earlier, treat it a little bit shallower, really try and nearly drive on top of the yellow things. But the moment you get to them, or just as you're passing them, that's where you want to be hard on the brakes for the right. And don't,
much harder than that.
Well, I actually don't think your brakes was bad there. I think it was that you got back on the gas. It sounded to me like you braked and then you accelerated into the right. But you need to stay on the brakes to make the right, basically. So nearly stop the car so you can stay super tight to that right. I did the same thing loads though, so it's completely normal. Yeah, so that first...
Stay in third here.
Yeah, stay in whatever gear you arrive at, stay in it for the lefts. And maybe go in a little earlier for the first left as well. So you can go down a gear for that first of the 90-degree corners there.
Okay.
Yeah, so whatever gear you're in now, that's what we should be in for the first of the 90.
Yeah.
And I tend to go down one for this last corner as well.
Okay.
So that time,
while the car was turning.
Yeah, that time it looked like you were a bit worried to get on the brakes in case it kind of pitched you wide. So I'm just going to watch exactly what our car placement was from the outside, because you're good through the next couple, so I can leave you to those. Let's have a look. Okay, so again, we were really wide of the first apex. That's what's making your life hard. So you were basically over a car width wide of the curb on that first corner, and that then meant that you really were tight, pressed up to the next corner to get the brakes on, so you were having to turn left pretty hard at exactly the point you wanted to brake. So if we get closer to that first curb at turn 1, you'll be in a much straighter line when you brake for the right. It'll just make it all way easier. Similar with this next right coming up. Try and get really close to the red sausage curb without actually touching it, but use all of the flat red and white curb on the inside if you can. And go down that gear as well to get into there. Okay, so turn 1 this time.
Okay.
Get within like an inch of the yellow lumpy curbs on the left, and if you hit them, that's fine. Just get as close to them as you can, and that'll then open up the right. That's more like it. And then you can get it down a couple of gears. Don't get on the gas. So you were perfect that time. Yeah.
Okay.
So you were absolutely perfect that time. Your positioning was spot on. Like, it was so much easier that time. Your positioning was great. You were going slow enough, but right at the point where you needed to just wait and stay tight, that's where you got on the gas. So just resist that temptation. But once you sort that, you'll be really fast through there now. The line was really good that time. I'm actually going to look from the outside, see just how close we got to the yellow curbs. Yeah, you nibbled the edge of them. Like, you touched them, which is fine. And the car was completely fine when you did that. That's better. Staying in that gear is better. And you see, you actually had a bit more margin for speed through there. You saw the car got through the corner pretty easily in the end.
Yeah.
Okay, for this 90 right, remember to do a downshift when you're doing your braking. And then you're in the correct gear for this corner, ready.
A little more brake on that. Okay.
Yeah, we went a bit deep in the first corner, that's all. Probably because I gave you an extra thing to do. Yeah, you were in the middle of the track, nowhere near the apex that time. That's why the second part was hard. Okay, that was really nice. Really good last corner. So turn 1, you know what to do. Basically aim to just kiss the edge of the yellow curbs. Get it stopped and down 2 gears. So you want to be in second, ready to take the right-hander. And just be really patient with it. Okay, it got a bit unsettled that time. So you can already see the key corner on this track is turn 1, and it's the real tricky one.
The key track.
So let's see what happened that time. Okay, that time you went a bit too far on the curb. So that time you listened to me too well, and you were fully off the track on the inside. So all 4 wheels were within the white lines that time, as in off the track. So that's why it got so... You bounced on the tallest part of the yellow lumps, and that's what unsettled you. But... you've now done it perfectly and slightly too far. So next time, just get close to them without actually jumping across them and you'll be fine. I'm just going to listen to your throttle as well. Yeah, everything was fine actually. You would have made the corner fine if it hadn't tried to spit you around. It was just the instability meant it wouldn't slow down. That's better. The accuracy through here is really key. That was maybe a bit too accurate on that curve.
A little too much curve on that.
Yeah. It's good though. You've got to get close to them. You've got to get close to them. Otherwise it'll be slow. Don't forget the downshift into the last corner. That's all.
Yeah. Probably would have helped it rotate.
Okay, so that time, as I'm sure you know, we went back to like the really late missing the apex. So to help you out, whilst we're getting this accurate, go in a bit slower. So you went in really fast that time, which is fine if you nail the line. But if you don't quite get the line and you go in with that speed, you won't make it, like you saw there. So your speed was actually correct for the perfect line, but we went in a bit too late and it made the corner a bit too tight. So. That's nice. So what you're doing through this corner right now is really good. Like that's pretty much perfect through there. So this time stay in this gear through the chicane and the right. Just a little touch of the brake. That's it. Use all the curb if you need it. Yeah, that's good. So now we'll just build on that. That's the flow through there. And this 90 right, we just need to make sure we're accurate. Down 1 gear. Just don't jump off the red sausage curb. Nice. So that's good. So that's basically how it should feel. Now stay in this gear for this corner. Just be accurate again. And early on the power. That's cool. That's fine. And this one down a gear. Yeah, so that last section now, that you've now done it correctly. You can obviously perfect it, but that's really good. It's only really turn 1 we haven't done perfectly. So this time maybe just lift off slightly earlier to give yourself the time to get it in on that nice line.
Okay.
And then down a couple of gears. Still sounded like we were...
I did.
Yeah, it sounded... I heard... Although I can't see your throttle trace, it sounded like throttle. But you set it up fine.
And then I realized it was too late.
Yeah. But that proves to you, though, the fact that you gave it a tiny bit of gas and you still couldn't make the corner proves that you can't get away with any gas. Because that time you went in nice and slow, everything was fine, you only gave it the smallest amount of gas and you still couldn't do it. So...
Yep.
Right, we want to go into this left faster next time. So the first of the 3 lefts, carry more speed in. Yeah, it's a real high speed one. And then you just gradually slow down for the second and the third one. This is all good though. So from this point onwards on the lap, you nailed it last time, so I'm just going to leave you to do it the same. Just remember to not go down a gear there.
Drop that gear, yeah.
It's quicker than you think it is, that corner, when you get the nice flow through there.
Alright, this is the one we go down a gear, huh?
Yep.
Alright, I missed up the one before it.
Yeah, you see how it impacts it? Yeah, by just missing the apex on the first one, it snowballs, exactly. So, yeah, this track really is accuracy over ballsiness. Okay. More brake. Yeah, so that time you didn't sound like you got on the gas, but we didn't do enough braking, that's all. And I think it's because you did the first part of the corner quite gently and safely, you then probably felt too safe at the point where it went tight. So you just still need that big brake in between the two. And you'll just see such a massive delta gain. So first left coming up, take it really fast. Almost completely full throttle.
Oh,
and you see you've got loads of margin left.
Yeah.
So we can go in even faster next time. It's only by this one that you actually need to get it properly slowed down. I treat it as like the first left, like 100%, second left, like 80%, third left, 60%, and then the right, like 30% in terms of like how much I'm pushing through there.
Okay.
Okay, get the downshift done before you get in towards the apex this time, just to help it turn in. So brake down. There you go, that's good.
Oh, stay in third on that, yeah.
Final corner you do go down. Yeah, final corner. It's a bit tighter, and you just can't get away with the high gear.
Okay. Wasn't tight like I should have been, but at least I didn't.
We still arrived at the first apex slightly too fast. Just slightly.
Okay.
So you saw how even at that speed, you couldn't hang it tight around the inside. So, but that was way closer though. Way, way closer to ideal. I'm just going back to it. In fact, I want to see you through the fast corners. Okay, so for this first left, try it at full throttle. But just remember the next one isn't full throttle.
Just a lift.
Yeah. And maybe when you really arrive there quickly, you might even need a little brush of the brakes just to take the edge off. But obviously it means you arrive at this corner faster. Yeah. So you have to be even more deliberate on your deceleration for that right-hander. You can see though, if you really nail this track and get the compromises right, other people are gonna, if they make a small mistake, it's gonna really slow them down.
Yeah, there's a lot of tricky corners here that could make a big difference for sure.
Just make sure you get that downshift done when you're braking for that one, because otherwise it pushes on a bit like that.
Well, that's the other part of it, is it's half remembering and half execute.
Yeah. So after you've done the next couple of laps, even though I know you've got loads more potential, we'll have a brief break just to let your brain mentally process this, like subconsciously. We'll do a quick review and then go again. So let's see if this time you can really hug turn 2 tightly all the way around. Okay, good start. That's by far the best you've done it. Way better.
Yeah, I mean, that was half a second delta on my next best lap. So
Okay. Yeah, going the short distance in this car on this track really seems to be the best compromise.
yeah, I'm up almost a second already.
So full throttle into that first one, remember?
Yes, that's right. Okay.
But just make sure you brake heavily for this right and quite early. You made it.
Oh, should do my best lap. So set up here. Did you downshift there when I did?
Yeah. So make sure you do the downshift before you get to the apex here.
Forgot which one the last corner was. Well, this will be the best lap.
Okay. So just start the next one. If it's looking good,
Yeah.
complete it anyway.
All right. Okay. All right.
And if it screws up, then we can stop on this next one and look at the data. So a big difference there where you tried to get on the gas early.
I know.
You were like, okay, I've got it turned in now. You tried the gas and it just pushes you instantly wide.
All right. You want to stop this one since it wasn't a.
Yeah, go on then. Yeah. Since you didn't know it. So just jump out, same as normal. Just make sure you're out of the car just so the data uploads. I'll give it a second to upload. I'll just open the data here. It's good to have a little rest anyway when you've done the first run. I always find I go quicker just without trying anything different. Just literally stopping, having 5 minutes, going again. I always go quicker. Right, so here we go. Let's grab... I don't need me. I've already got me. We need you. No, that's Winton. That isn't right at all. This one here. Okay, it must just still be uploading because there's
Yep. I am actually out of the car this time.
There we go. Is it that one there? Was it 42? Is that what we just did as the fast? Yeah, that's the one.
42.7 was fast.
Let's take that. It does upload the data really fast sometimes. Right. Perfect. I'm just going to change our colours because I should just get used to it being that I'm red, but almost always in like data analysis, motorsport, telemetry checking, it's normally the reference lap is blue. So in my head, I get confused unless I'm the blue one. Right. So we'll look at that in a minute. Before we look at the data, I just want to look at the lap itself. So let's just go to your fastest lap. And again, I appreciate this is absolutely not your ultimate potential. You're going to go quicker. But let's just look at the obvious places where you can go quicker. So turn 1. You're in the right gear on the approach, I can hear. You have a nice lift. So I still think we can probably turn in a bit earlier. You see the angle we're at? We're at quite a tight left angle here, certainly at this point. And obviously we weren't perfect on the curb this time. Way better than earlier, but there's still a bit of a margin. So even just, you know, a foot or two further left is going to give you a much easier run into the next section of corners. But this was completely fine. So I'm just looking at exactly where you turn in. See what it looks like from the cockpit.
Like right around where that side road
Yeah.
starts.
Yeah. Okay, so actually, let's just start looking at the data straight away because we can look at the steering angle and see. Yeah. So here we go.
It's been a reference for me. So is that too late?
So you are turning in a bit. Yeah, I can see on the GPS line, although you won't be able to see it very clearly. If I zoom in, you can see how your red line is wider on the entry there.
Okay, so turn in before that road.
Yeah, so
okay.
just a little before. It's not very obvious on the steering trace because it's such gentle steering. I do have a much higher peak steering to the left, but I guess that's just because I'm forcing the car to stay really, really tight to that curb. That's all. But anyway, right, so that's fine. So just basically turn in a little earlier, go slightly shallower. So like kind of now we want to just be aiming at the green section in between the yellow and the red and white. But anyway, that was not terrible at all on this lap. So then we'll head into the double right. This is where we do the braking. We went slightly wider than you would have intended here.
Got on the throttle too soon there. I think that's why.
Let's check. Let's have a little reference of our throttle traces together. So
it kept tightening, like you said. I wasn't thinking about
just here. Let's zoom in and have a look. So yeah, you have. But I mean, I also have a little. Oh, this is on the way in. Okay. So you get on the gas. About here. Is that just throttle blips for downshifts? Yeah, that's not actually you getting on the throttle. That's just the auto blip on the downshift. So we can ignore these little spikes. But just here, you're right. You go up to 33% throttle. And I actually did give it a tiny blast, but I was just 20% and I was off the gas. So I'm doing less gas and I'm on it for a shorter period of time. You're using more gas and you're on there for like an extra few meters. So yeah, just definitely wait until... Oh no, my mouse is... Uh-oh. Right, this is a problem.
Higher, 80%.
My mouse... Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, my mouse has just stopped working, which is a slight issue. So let me just grab a different mouse and plug it in to this computer. I'll be 2 secs. It's a wireless mouse, and all the lights have gone off, so I reckon it's just run out of battery, and I can't put new batteries in it. It has to be charged, so... Oh, my fiancé heard me through the wall and come in with a spare mouse. That's very kind of you, Diane.
Is there a video on?
Sorry?
Is the streaming camera?
Yeah, but it's okay. No one can see. She doesn't want you to see her.
Okay,
right.
I'm looking down.
Backup mouse is fine. Right, and I can reach the PC. Let's get this backup mouse in. I didn't even need to get out of my chair. Right, there we go. I'm going to be in trouble for that. It's just loading. Where are you, backup mouse?
Why are you doing that? What happened to your cart?
Oh, it literally just... Has this mouse not got any battery either? It had a chassis crack purely because the curbs are very aggressive at the track that we're running at. I think she might have given me a duff mouse. You've just been using it? Oh, right.
It's from my work computer.
There's just no light coming out of it, that's all.
It works.
Sorry, Nick. I'll be back with you in a moment.
No, we're good.
we're just at turn 1 for the whole session now. Maybe the hole I just plugged it into doesn't work. I've got about 30 USBs to choose from. There we go. I heard the USB noise. Okay, right, we're back. We're back in the game. Right, okay.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, and look, I'm just not braking enough. So not only did I go on the throttle sooner.
Yes, look at the brake pressure.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you're braking more than me on the first part, and that's just because we're getting used to the accuracy through there. But then when we get to the second part, you can see, look at our speed lines converging, and so you brake less on the second part, and then you get to this section right at the crucial point where we want to stay tight, and suddenly you're going quicker than me, and you're going quicker right up there. I've got this very definite minimum speed. And at the same point, you're going 10k quicker. So that's literally why. That's all it is. There's a point as you enter that corner where mentally, subconsciously, your driving brain is going, I could probably get away with a bit more speed here, but the car can't cope with it. So that's mainly it.
That's
the
right
entry, we can go quicker. We just have to then brake harder and stay on the brakes. Look at this extra brake I do here. So although I did that little tiny throttle and you did that slightly bigger throttle, the difference was I then went brake again to keep the nose in. So that's really it. It's just manipulating those pedals and staying off the gas until it's really, really tight around there. That's I think, probably one of our main areas we can gain time. So on our delta down here, there's quite a big jump in this fast left, but that's because on your best lap, you obviously went in a bit slow and you knew it. Into the fast, here we go. When you look at the speed lines, there's quite a big gulf. You're slowing down much, much earlier. And you're getting off the gas at, like, say, 1,400 meters.
At all for that first left?
80 meters later than you. So, yeah, you did a brake and a big lift, and I'm full throttle until in between the two. So once I've gone through the first left, I then go down to, like, 10% throttle, and then back on again, like you do. You also go back on again. So that's not going to be any different. We're just doing it from a higher speed, and then we start the braking. And if I zoom back out again, I'll look at the whole section. There we go, a bit more in its entirety. Then, so you are slowing down to pretty much exactly the right speed for that long right-hander, but it looks like you got a bit too fast in the middle, and then lost out on the exit because you had to back off again. So but that's fine though. That's quite easy to, we'll work on that once we've nailed this high speed section. That wasn't the best you've done it though, so that's not really a fair representation. So I won't, just basically go much quicker into the first left, and then we'll deal with whatever happens from that afterwards. And then the next part of the lap, we've got, the fast right-hander that leads onto the back straight. I think you're trying to go in a little bit too quick. You see you're lifting off slightly later than me, and you're a bit deeper. You're a bit further to the right when you get there. So what can we do to fix that? Let's have a look. And you went down a gear on that lap. But you went down a gear because you're so tight to the inside at this point, it's making you feel like you need to go down a gear.
Break. Yeah.
So let's just actually look. So I'll just skim through the lap here. We've spoken about... That was good, that hairpin. We've spoken about these fast ones. So it's here that we're talking about now. Oh. One sec, Nick. Becca? You're typing in iRacing. Whatever you're typing is coming up in iRacing. We're getting lawyer speak. She just deleted it. I can see, so the keyboard's obviously still connected. So she's using a wireless keyboard that's connected to my PC now. Anyway, sorry.
Is it deleted?
Sorry?
Has it deleted?
Yeah, it's deleted. It was coming up in the text box down here.
Okay, I'll get rid of it. Sorry, that was confidential.
I didn't read it. I just saw text. You can have your mouse back when we're finished. Anyway, sorry. Two people working from home in separate rooms. Okay, so the reason... You see here, where we're a bit far from this orange bollard, and then you get to the right-hander, and you're still having to turn left quite hard at this point. That's why it's making you feel like you're having to go down a gear. So let's have a look at the steering. Oh, you can't see it very clearly, but I'll just zoom back and go in slow-mo and turn this off. So it starts here. It starts by not using enough curb here. So we want to be on the grass across here. That'll put your car a car width or nearly a car width further to the right. That'll make, when you arrive at this corner, instead of facing kind of straight, you'll be facing slightly left through here. That'll then put you on a much better line for here. You won't be up against this grass here. You'll be over to the left a bit, and then it'll flow into there really nicely. And I'm just going to show you that in high speed on a slightly more ideal lap if it loads. Her mouse is nicer than mine. This is nicer to use. Okay, so this section here. So, loads of curb over the grass.
Way out there, yep.
Then much tighter to the left. You see the angle of the car here.
Yeah.
And I'm not over here on this concrete. I've got so much room to turn into this corner that it's obvious that it's a gear higher that way. It's not obvious from the position you're on, and it may well be that you do need a gear down on the line you're on, otherwise it's bogged down. But it's curb and then brake. So I'm actually full throttle until here. So you don't need to worry about the car not being able to make it. It can make it through there easily at full speed as long as you take the short line. That's all. Right, let's just go back to you just to finish the lap. But the next bit, I'm not so worried about. The final part of the lap, you're not bad at all at. It's really the first section, turn one, and then the fast long left-hander here. That's where most of our times we gain, and obviously that fast right we just looked at.
14, which the last two corners. I am forgetting which one's the last one.
Yep. So and you can see on the data, you can go quicker than that through there. You're artificially 20k too slow. But that's not because you've done it faster than that. You just didn't realise which one was which. So you've got your 90 right, 90 left. In fact, it's not quite 90, but it feels like it in this car. When you look at the map, they're not that tight at all. But it definitely I'm treating them like a 90 right and a 90 left. And then another 90 right, because that corner, the penultimate corner, is exactly the same angle as the previous two. But then the final corner, as you can see, is way tighter.
Much tighter.
So it's it's much more exaggerated, which is why we need the downshift for that final one. But yeah, I don't want you to worry too much about these ones because I actually think they'll come very naturally once you've got your head around the track. I definitely think we should just focus on turn 1 and 2, and then the fast long triple left, and then just that fast right onto the back straight. So with all those things in mind, let's go again. And obviously, give it a couple of laps for the tyres to warm up before you worry too much. But I think on cold tyres, you'll still be able to go quicker than you just went there. I've still got loads of tea left. Yeah, I was just going to say, remember the really tight pit exit, but you remembered.
So tight.
So even on cold tyres now, go into this corner really fast. Just like barrel on in way faster than you have. And only slow down a little bit for the next one. Just a little slow. And you see how much margin you've got there. And now you need to slow right down.
And then that's the, I just got to get used to coming into that one much faster than before.
Yeah.
But you're right, you can really just...
That's better. That's better.
Alright.
Did you get a slow down or an off track or anything?
I did get a black flag on that one, yeah.
Okay, let me just remove it.
Too much.
So you found the limit through there.
Right. Oh, those were the lefts. That was no.
That was 90 left, 90 right.
Yep.
And now you got the final corner, which is tighter. So down a gear for this one. I actually think you need 2 down because you didn't go down in the 90 left, 90 right. That was all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just arrived there a gear higher than normal. That was all.
Oddly enough, not actually my worst lap. Like
Okay.
42. There. Man, that is just a tough track.
You're just too brave. You're just too brave getting... You just assume the car has more grip than it has getting into that right, that's all. I'm just watching that back. Your line in was actually fine, but instead of lifting early that time and braking slightly on the way into the first corner, you went in like full throttle. You just barreled on in.
Yeah,
Yeah, you didn't lift until you got to the first curb, so you just didn't have enough time to slow down, that was all.
Alright, so these are the 3 lefts. First left, no brake.
Yeah. And then like a little lift.
Little brake.
Yeah, you're good. And then just try and get the third apex and brake hard when you get there. And down 2 gears. Yeah, that's cool. You actually only needed 1 down because you must have gone down earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so let's go not off on this.
Did you get an off track or a black flag there?
No.
Okay, cool. Good, okay. So you used quite a lot of curb on either side, so that's good.
Okay, now this is no down.
This is down 1. This is down 1.
Down 1, okay. Alright, I keep missing that apex big time.
It's not the end of the world if you miss it. It just means you've got to then compromise the next left, that's all.
Not the final corner. This is the final
Yeah, that's
corner.
it. So a good clue for knowing if you're at the final corner is the pit entrance is there. So when you pass the pit entrance, you're at the final corner. If you haven't passed the pit
okay,
entrance,
yes.
you're not at the final corner.
Gotta get better at those little visual like reminders.
Okay, so this time make sure you've lifted before you get to the curb, and then brake heavily between the left and the right. And down 2 gears. That's more like it. And wait for it. Be really careful on the inside.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just got on throttle a little too soon there, but that was still better.
Yeah, the entry was way better. You just got on the gas a bit too hard in the middle, that was all. But the entry and the line was really good. Right, here we go then. So full throttle into the first one.
Yeah. Little brake.
That's all good. And remember to brake hard and down 2 gears for the right.
Maybe a little too much brake, but
Yeah, we went we were just a bit deep before we got to the third left, but that's fine. No problem. We can tweak that. If you didn't get an off track there, I'll be stunned, but...
no, I got it. Oh, yeah.
So remember, this is brake and down one gear and get really close to the apex. And it really helps you for the next one. And then stay in this gear through here, stay in this gear through the next one as well.
Okay, yep.
That's okay. I know it feels a bit bogged down, but it won't feel bogged down when you carry more speed through there. So stay in this gear.
Right,
there's the pit entrance. So you know it's brake, down a
one.
gear. Yeah, and there you go. Yeah, easy. Sometimes you need just...
Good,
Sometimes you
good.
need a little mental reference point like that, so...
Yeah.
So this time, just don't get on the gas too hard in turn 2. You've got to be quite gentle with the gas, even once you get it turned in. That's it. And then just wait for it. And on the exit, you can go for it. Yeah, cool. So that's the best you've done it. Certainly visually, that's the best you've done it.
Okay, here we go.
Right, so full throttle into here.
Wow.
And a lift for
Brake.
here. That's cool. And make sure you get the next apex here and then brake hard. Down 2 gears. Yeah, awesome. So that section now looks and feels
Much
pretty
better.
good.
Yep. Yep.
Just not
Alright.
quite as much grass through here now, but just a little bit
Yeah.
of grass. Nice.
Brake plate there.
That's okay. I mean, you carried really good speed into there. So, and
Yeah.
on the exit of that corner you just did, remember, you can always use the green section to carry a bit more speed on the exit. Same here. I use
Okay.
the green here. And I also use the green on the exit here, so you can just
that
widen
here,
the track
yeah.
a bit. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
That little section was really nice. That whole section.
Okay.
The guy behind has just done a 142.5.
So brake here. One brake.
You're just a
Yeah, a little
little
too
bit
much
too
slow.
early. Just too
Yeah,
early.
alright.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just got to really wait until it's got most of the way around the corner. That's all. And if you start to give it throttle and it feels like it's running wide, get back off the throttle. So don't kind of
Just keep kinda.
don't fall into like the
waiting for
sunk
it.
cost fallacy where you're like, well, I've gone a bit
Yeah.
wide, so I just have to keep going. That's good. Get back to the last apex. Hard. If you go a bit too quick into the second one or a bit too deep into the second one, you can't make the third one.
Right.
But you felt how it should feel now. You've done it correctly a couple of times now, so we just have to keep working to that. So stay in this gear. Remember, that corner's quicker than you're giving it credit for.
Okay. Okay, so we go down a gear on this
Yep.
one.
Yeah. That's it. We stay in this gear through the next one. Use the green paint on the exit. You know, really widen the exit of the corner. You've got loads of room to
Okay,
use.
And this one we go down one.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay,
This is good.
alright.
So now that section is becoming a bit more natural. Yeah, so you'll have more like capacity to focus on the other parts where you can gain a little bit more time. So just be super tight, super patient. Don't give it too much gas. Nice. That's better.
Better.
It's still not
Yeah.
perfect, but better. And you're consistently making it now, which makes it much easier to improve it because you're getting around the corner fine.
Right.
So make sure we hit this next apex and then hit the third apex as well, and then heavy braking. Cool, that's good. You're in the correct gear. This is all good. Remember, you now stay in this gear for the next 3 corners. That's it. And use all the track on the exit. So you've got loads of room to use. That's it. Nice one. Okay, good. And then you've got the next corner where you go down a gear, but the main focus is also hitting the apex. So get it in earlier if you need to. That's better. Much better. Way better. Really opens out this one as well. And we stay in this gear through here, and the next corner here. Use the green paint, and then you've got the final corner coming up. Sweet.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Okay,
All
so
right.
yep. So apart from being a little bit greedy out of the last corner because you suddenly got brave because you were doing it all so well, you were like, oh, maybe I can cope with a bit more speed. But without that gravel moment, that was obviously easily going to be your quickest lap. So that's good. So I'm going to keep quiet now. Really nice that time. That was really good. Look at that exit. Absolutely perfect.
Much better. A little too early on the apex there.
Yeah, there's a real theme on this track, isn't there? Like, the corners are so long that even that corner, which you've had no problems with really, if you try and get on the power earlier, you just run out of track. And you end up losing even more time. Oh, lovely. That is the best you've done that section by miles. Yeah, this is much better. You've still got to be slightly patient here. That's perfect. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, really, really good. Okay, so the final few corners there, but absolutely perfect. Just keep that the same. Okay, cool. So you recognised you got on the gas a bit too early that time, or a bit too hard, and you didn't just let the car drive off the track.
I got a break later on that. I'm just early apexing that one.
Okay, so this time, before the fast right-hander that's coming up, just slow slightly earlier. So once you get through the chicane, slow a little bit early, but stay in the same gear.
Oh, same gear, okay.
Yeah, the reason I'm saying that is because you're slowing down quite late, it's pushing you a bit deep before the right-hander, and that's what's making you think you need to go down a gear. So if you get through the little fiddly chicane, and then slow down just a little earlier, it'll give you more time to get into the right on the right line. Oh, you're so much better at these corners now. So the end of the lap, it feels like you've got this pretty much sussed. Like, you know how this should all feel. It all flows one into the next quite easily.
Yeah, just gotta make sure I don't get too greedy on that last one.
Yeah,
but yes, agreed.
yeah. The problem is you come from like 4 corners that are all pretty gentle, and then the final corner is that bit tighter. So give it just enough gas to keep it moving, and then when you can see the exit, step on it. That's cool. That looks pretty good. Lovely.
Yeah, part of it is just going to be looking better down the track.
So you're only going to need to go down 1 gear this time because you didn't get up to the next gear that time, so that's fine. That line's good. Yeah, so once you go through this little flip-flop chicane that's coming up, just lift off slightly earlier than you normally would so you can get into the right-hander without having to go down a gear.
Oh. I did lift up slightly earlier, but I still...
Yeah, you've got the habit of... Yeah, your habit is just is clicking down a gear, that's all. Because you were easily going to make it at that speed in that gear.
Yeah.
That's nice. Definitely, your average lap time is obviously way, way lower now. We just haven't necessarily hooked it all up on the same lap.
Put it all together, yeah. Yeah, they've been all more consistent at least. They're all 144 more consistent.
Yeah.
43. Okay. So braking slow opens. We're going in those curves.
That was a lot of curve that time.
A little bit of curve there.
So wait until you can see the exit and then go for it.
That's where all the time is. That's where a lot of time is. For
Yeah.
sure.
Nice. That's good. That was good.
Yeah. Looking a little bit more down the track.
So remember, keep your foot down through here. Get up to the next gear. Keep your foot down. Get up to the next gear. Keep going. So that's it. You were just chickened out a little early, and that's why you didn't get up to the next gear. That was all.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
So stay in this gear through here. I don't know how,
Sorry,
so yeah, so if we were in a real car together, yeah, so if we were sitting next to each other for real, I would have had my hand in front of the gear stick. I would have just like blocked you. That's, you know, it's the same, exactly the same thing in real life. And almost like that physical moment of, oh, I can't get to the gear stick. It's like from that point onwards, it just stays in your mind. Although when it's a paddle shift car, it's much harder to do that. You have to like hold the paddle and people still manage to click through you. Okay, good line into there. So that time, because you didn't get down the extra gear, because you only went down 1 gear, the revs were low. So I think you heard the engine note was quite low and quiet, and it felt like you were going slower than you were. So you got on the gas to compensate, but you were already going a bit too quick. Right, this time stay on the gas, don't lift, stay on the gas, that's it. Now you can start to slow. Okay, now after this chicane, don't change down. You're in the correct gear now for the next 3 corners. Just carry the speed in. Here we go. Now go for it. Yeah, look at all the margin you've got. You've still got loads of space. There's so much room to play with once you trust the width of the track there.
Yeah.
We didn't do our downshift.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't do our downshift for that 90 right. That was all.
Yeah.
We've got low 42s regularly coming up here once you get in this, you know, once it all starts to click now, because you're doing every section really well. Right, turn 1, exactly the same as last time. Just remember you've got to get down 2 gears before you get into the right-hander.
Okay.
And then be patient with it. Wait until you can see your way out of the corner before you stand on the gas. Nice. remember to really carry loads of speed into this first left,
Okay.
and only after that
go.
you need to start slowing down.
Up
So
the
just
gear.
carry the speed in, that's it. Stay in this gear through here, but just take it gently. And then when we brake for this, we go down 2 gears. That's it. Now you're in the correct gear, so this is perfect. Loads of gas on the exit. Up a gear, then stay in it for the right-hander. Early on the gas now. Yeah, this is great. This is great. Remember to go down a gear for the next right-hander. And
Okay.
remember to focus on accuracy at the apex. And then stay in this gear for the next 2 corners, but not for the final corner. Nice. And don't be too greedy on the gas here. Wait till you can see it, then go for it. Yeah, that's cool. Really good. That looked to me like by
Finally,
far the best
got
lap.
a 140.
Yeah, that's the one that looked like it all came together for sure.
Hey, 140.
Way better.
All right.
Way better.
All right.
Well done, man.
At least we got one in. We got one in before the end. Excellent.
So the thing is, you could see that lap time was there the whole time. Like that lap
Yeah,
time was
I
just
know.
teasing us the whole time. You just needed to do each corner correctly at the same time. That was all.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's good. I'm glad
keep
we
keep
did that
repeating that. Keep repeating that. So I'm just going to quickly review that lap very quickly, so you can so we can cement the things you did well. So turn 1. Again, I know you can't hear this. So turn 1. We still went in quite late, and you
Wow,
still
still
missed the
had-
apex. So imagine how
Yeah.
much extra time there would be. The reason
Yeah.
you still made it is because you're now doing this section really well. You know how this
Yeah.
should feel. But there's a potential for loads more time into here and a higher speed into here if you turn it in earlier. So take this line that my cursor is on rather
Yep.
than that slightly later one. So just do an early shallow line, skim the yellow blocks, then brake, but then keep this section from here onwards, keep this bit exactly the same. So get it slowed down, be really tight. That's perfect. That's exactly like I did. You know, you kiss the first apex here, you go a bit
Yeah,
wide here,
you
but
just
only
go to the
one
middle.
width, only one car width wide. Wait for
Yep.
the car to rotate. We didn't quite get back to this bit, so you could still aim to get it rotated more.
Yep.
And that'll just mean you can then get on the power earlier, because you're having to wait longer to get on the power than I am, because you're already wider. So you're like, well, you just cannot get hard on the gas. But one big thing is to not get to full throttle or not to start increasing the throttle until you can see where you want to go, this green bit. Now you can start to see it. Now I can see that if I go full throttle and run wide, I'm going to run wide onto the green bit, which is fine. So that's all cool. You're absolutely fine through here. Nice and tight and accurate. And similar thing, once you can almost see where you're going to end up over here, obviously this is where you should be looking at this point, then you can go for it. Okay, so first left-hander, how did it go? I think that line's perfect. Yeah, I think that line's absolutely perfect. So the only thing I'd change is, yeah, so I think we just want to start lifting slightly earlier. So you go full throttle until here, and then you braked. And when you braked, you see it actually made the front wash out a bit because you braked quite hard. Instead of staying full throttle till here and then braking hard and the front of the car getting unstable, I'm going to watch outside so you see. You see it kind of just, the car just kind of lurched wide. Instead of that, I would lift here. Sorry, I keep clicking the wrong button. I would lift here. Yeah, instead of staying full throttle quite as long, I'd start to lift about now, let the car naturally just turn in a bit over to the inside without having to do a big brake. Or if you're going to brake, just brush them gently. That'll get you close to the inside as you're trying to do. And then again, similar thing for here. Just like lift, just a little bit of throttle. So you're taking a slightly shorter line and you're able to make this curb a little bit more easily. Because although you did turn the first of the 3 lefts well, you were then a little bit wide for the second one there.
Yep.
And then again, obviously a little bit wide for the third one because of that. So just lift a bit earlier after the first one and just go tight for the second and third one. That'll then set you up here more nicely as well. And obviously, because of that line, you're then kind of pitched over to the... As you braked hard, the car wanted to turn left because you got left lock on. It goes over to the left and then you have to swing into the right rather than being tight here. If you'd gone straight from that curb straight to the white line on the inside. Sorry, I keep clicking fast forward, but I mean slower. If you've gone straight to this curb here and not been going wide here, that's another couple of tenths at least. So there's more time there that you'll easily find. Obviously, you then had to spend the rest of the corner trying to get back to the inside. So there's clearly some more time there to find, which is good. It means that's quite easy to get.
Yep.
How did this bit go? Let's see through here. So still a bit more curb you can use there, because I was just touching the grass without getting it off track. So there's a bit more you could use. That, again, little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and you remember I was kind of in the middle when I got to this part. Even so, you managed to stay in the same gear, carry way more speed than normal, and you still had loads of room left. So if you can perfect that chicane, a bit more curb, and be further to the left here, but do everything else the same, you'll be able to get on the power earlier. Yeah, stay in gear. Remember to stay in gear. You'll be able to get on the power earlier through here, and you'll still make that exit absolutely easily. So that little section, I think there's probably quite a bit of lap time that you've still got there just to go take. Just if you just get the line right, the lap time will come really easily. This next section, I don't think there's as much left to come. I think you're a lot closer to the limit through here. So with this 90 right, that's more like it. We actually probably used too much curb that time. You probably just you probably just overslowed slightly for that one. But I'd rather you did that than you were wide in the middle, because at least with this you had loads of opportunity. Because that line's fine now. This is perfect. You had loads of opportunity to absolutely nail that one, which is exactly what that should look like. That's perfect. And you even had the option of running more speed through there and running wider, because you didn't even need to use the green.
Right.
You went wide there for the sake of it, but you actually didn't need to go wide. The car wasn't forced wide. So there's more speed that you can carry through there. That looks nice. That looks good. The only thing I'd say through there, when you go through the third to last, sorry, the penultimate and the last corner, when you come through here, you can go a bit wider on the green, and you don't need to then get off the green. So you can go a little bit wider.
Stay into the pit entry.
Yeah, exactly. Just like straddle this line, and that'll mean you'll arrive one or half a car width or a car width further to the left. And then when you come to turn into here, it just make your life a little bit easier.
Open that up
and
a lot.
Just as a visual demo, I'm just going to see. I think I was doing that, but it certainly feels like I'm doing that. Come on, car. It always takes ages to load my lap. Here we go. So I could have just clicked the next lap and rewound it. I didn't think of that. So yeah, so just like this. So you come through here, out onto the green, stay on the green, so you can then turn in with loads of extra room into that last corner.
That's a big difference.
So that will give you so much more room going into the final corner. That's all. Just make the radius a bit less tight. So. And I'm actually completely taking the mickey here. Look how wide it is here, and that wasn't an off track. So it's nearly all four wheels off, but just enough on that it counts. So there we go. So that's the final extra little bits of time. But man, that was good. That felt like quite hard work, but for good reason. You know, like to really chip away at it.
It was. Yeah, but now there's like a one. I don't know what did I end at? A 142.4. There's definitely 141.
You did 141. Yeah. No, you did a 41.
Oh, did a 141.
Yeah, you did 41.4.
Okay, there's got to be 140 in there then.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You can get. Well, I mean, look at the time we lost just from. I'll just bring the data up quickly, just so I know we're a bit over.
And where were you? You were like 138, I think.
138. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's just bring up your last lap there. There we go. So 141.4. I'll make this one green. Okay, so yeah, so just turn one. Your mid corner speed is now better. Probably slightly too much. That's why you went a bit wide. So, but not far off. Like you managed to get it turned in that time. So that's fine. Next right. Okay, sorry, next left. The hairpin there, real typical hairpin. You can see your red and green line. Your mid-corner speed is higher than mine each time, but your entry speed is much lower. So we want to go in faster, but get it stopped in the middle. You see exactly where the red dot is there on the map? That's where my minimum speed is. Whereas your minimum speed starts like back here somewhere, and then you stay kind of at a constant minimum speed all the way to here. So you can go in faster, but just get it stopped. You see my brake trace, how much longer I'm braking? So you're braking on both of your laps, you brake earlier, but then you're off the brakes all the way on the way in. Whereas I'm going in quicker, but by keeping a bit of brake on, the nose is staying tight. And that's just what allows me to carry that slightly higher speed. So we want to V that corner off a bit more rather than have that kind of U-shaped speed graph that you've got. You know, just how you see how your speed graph is a lovely smooth U, but it wants to be a bit more of a point down in the middle there. The double left-hander, that's definitely the biggest area we can gain time still. Oh, no, sorry, I'm talking crap. No, that's from on your previous lap, on your previous red one. The green is now way closer.
Blue.
It's actually slightly too fast on that part, on the final left, which is why you go a bit deep. But we watched that on the replay of that. So that's good. That's really good. You've gained so much time through there. And then the long right, you're a bit deep, so you're actually slightly slower on the green lap on the long right. But look at the trajectory, look how far you went, because remember when you got on the brakes, it pitched you off to the left, and so you ended up having to go really wide. So that's not normal. Then you're way better in the fast right. You're exactly halfway between me and your previous run through there, so that's good. And staying in the same gear. I was going to say way better in this. You were way better in the 90 right in terms of positioning. Not in terms of speed, but in terms of positioning, you were then able, although you were slightly slower in, we saw that because you used too much curb, you were actually able to use too much curb.
Yeah, that really
that's because you went in slower. That's why you were able to hit it. But that positioning allowed you to go through the left-hander way better. So if you can just combine the two, slightly quicker in, but still get that position so that you can get into the left better, that's good. And then the final couple of corners here, again, you're dead in the middle. And then last corner, it was good. I don't know what happened. Why did we just okay, that's interesting. So you went slightly too slow into the last corner. You then tried to go too quick in the middle, and then it went a bit wide on the exit, that's all.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of just smoothing out the compromise. But when you use the painted area, that'll make that way easier. You'll be able to carry that entry speed and still make it. So yeah, main sections then now. You can still carry more speed into turn 1. But just make sure you get the same speed for turn 2. You've got to be going slow still for turn 2. But carry more entry speed, that's the big thing. And then, the long right-hander, there's some time there, but that'll just come from the accuracy finishing the 3 lefts. So all in all, I think that's nice. I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, it's a pretty big improvement from where we started, I'd say.
Just keep doing some laps this week. Well, next week. This is next week's track, isn't it?
This is next week's, yeah.
Cool. Right, well, I don't know when we're next meeting, but have a lovely race week.
I think in a week. I think in a weekend.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let me just check my calendar.
Next Friday, I think, the 5th. That's 7.
So, scheduled events.
Oh, 7 for me.
Yep, got it there. Yep, next Friday.
You have the 1 hour after that?
Let me just check. I'm just looking at my calendar. So next Friday. Oh, I'm in the wrong month. That's what I can't see. I think I do have the hour after that.
Well,
yes.
Before we do that, because Friday's like an in-between day. I know Monday's not good for you because it seems like you're in a live tracks. But Wednesday the 10th.
Wednesday the 10th, there's a bit of an asterisk over that because I've got 2 potential dates where I'm supposed to be doing some training about the new Suzuki Swift Sport. And I've got a question mark. It's either the 10th or the 11th. So I've I've hedged my bets and blocked both days out. But it might be that I'm free on the 10th. I just don't know for another week or so.
Do you want to just move the Friday up an hour, like an hour later?
Yep, I can do that.
All right, and then if you find out you've got that open, we could switch it to that. Because Friday's sort of like an in-between where it's like I'm probably gonna go back now and do a Winton race this weekend or 2, 3, hopefully.
So 1 hour later, on Friday, the 5th. Yeah.
That works for you?
Yep. Done.
Cool. All right. Thanks.
All done. Awesome. Thanks, man. We'll have a nice week. And
Thanks,
I'll let you know when I've got that date confirmed. And if we need to move it to then, that's fine.
All right, and that might be our fourth, so I'll buy another block and we'll do some more in the future.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, appreciate your help.
Sweet. See you later. Have a nice day.
All right, I'll see you. You too.
Bye.